Success is not random, and it's not reserved for a chosen few. It follows patterns. When you look closely at people who consistently achieve their goals, you begin to notice certain rules guiding their behavior. These rules are not complicated, but they are intentional. And mastering them requires more than inspiration. It requires awareness, discipline, and repetition. The first rule successful people follow is radical ownership. They take full responsibility for their results. They don't waste time blaming the economy, their upbringing, their boss, or bad luck. Even when circumstances are unfair, they focus on what they can control. Ownership shifts your energy from complaining to creating. The moment you decide that your outcomes are your responsibility, you gain power. You stop waiting to be rescued. You stop hoping someone else will change your situation. Instead, you ask a better question. What can I do right now to move forward? That question alone separates leaders from victims. The second rule is clarity of direction. Successful people know where they are going. Not every detail is mapped out perfectly, but they have a clear vision of the kind of life they want to build. Without clarity, effort becomes scattered. You can work hard and still feel stuck because your actions lack alignment. Clarity simplifies decisions. When opportunities appear, you can quickly evaluate whether they serve your long-term vision or distract from it. If you don't define your direction, the world will define it for you. And most of the time, that leads to average outcomes. Successful people regularly revisit their goals. They adjust when necessary, but they never drift without intention. The third rule is discipline consistency. Motivation is emotional, discipline is structural. Successful people don't rely on feeling inspired every day. They create routines that make progress automatic. They schedule their priorities. They show up even when energy is low. This consistency compounds over time. Small daily improvements accumulate into massive long-term results. The key is understanding that intensity matters less than repetition. You don't need to be extreme. You need to be steady. One focused hour every day beats 7 distracted hours once a week. Discipline transforms effort into identity. The more consistently you act in alignment with your goals, the more you begin to see yourself as someone capable of achieving them. The fourth rule is strategic discomfort. Successful people don't avoid discomfort. They use it. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. Every new skill feels awkward at first. Every bold move carries risk. Instead of retreating when things feel challenging, successful individuals lean in. They understand that discomfort is a signal of expansion, not danger. They deliberately choose environments and tasks that stretch them. They initiate difficult conversations. They take calculated risks. They put themselves in positions where failure is possible because they know that stagnation is guaranteed if they don't. When you reframe discomfort as training rather than threat, you unlock faster growth. The fifth rule is focused attention. In a world full of noise, attention is currency. Successful people guard it carefully. They don't allow constant notifications, endless scrolling, and trivial distractions to dominate their day. They carve out time for deep work. They prioritize tasks that require concentration and minimize interruptions. Focus multiplies effectiveness. When you give your full attention to one meaningful task, you accomplish more in less time. This creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence fuels further progress. The ability to concentrate deeply has become rare, which makes it incredibly valuable. The sixth rule is long-term thinking. Most people operate on short-term emotions. They seek quick results, instant validation, and immediate comfort. Successful people think differently. They make decisions based on long-term outcomes, not temporary feelings. They invest in skills that may not pay off for years. They build relationships patiently. They accept slow progress because they understand compounding. When you think long-term, setbacks don't break you. They become minor detours in a much bigger journey. Long-term thinking also strengthens resilience. You stop panicking over small losses because you know the bigger picture remains intact. Mastering these 6 rules is not about perfection. It's about alignment. Each day you have opportunities to practice ownership, clarity, discipline, discomfort, focus, and long-term thinking. You will not execute them flawlessly. No one does. But the goal is progress, not perfection. The more you practice these principles, the more they shape your identity. And identity determines behavior more powerfully than temporary motivation ever could. To truly master these 6 rules, you have to translate them from ideas into daily behavior. Knowledge without application changes nothing. So let's make this practical. Radical ownership begins with your language. Pay attention to how you speak about your problems. Do you say, "They didn't give me a chance"? Or do you say, "I need to improve my skills and create better opportunities"? The first statement gives away power. The second reclaims it. Start replacing blame-focused thoughts with solution-focused ones. At the end of each day, ask yourself one simple question. Where did I avoid responsibility today? Don't judge yourself, just observe. Awareness builds accountability. Over time, you'll catch yourself faster and shift your response sooner. Ownership becomes instinct. Clarity of direction requires intentional reflection. Most people are busy reacting to life instead of designing it. Set aside time weekly, even if it's just 20 minutes, to review your goals. Write them down, refine them. Ask yourself if your current habits support them. Clarity sharpens when you repeatedly engage with your vision. It fades when you ignore it. Another powerful exercise is visualization. Picture where you want to be in 5 years, not just financially, but mentally, physically, socially. What kind of person are you? What skills do you have? What standards do you live by? The clearer that picture becomes, the easier it is to align your actions with it. Decisions stop feeling random. They become directional. Disciplined consistency thrives on structure. Instead of relying on willpower, reduce decision fatigue. Decide in advance when you will work on your priorities. Create time blocks dedicated to growth. Protect those blocks like appointments. When you treat your commitments seriously, others will too. It's also helpful to track your consistency visually. Whether it's marking an X on a calendar or using a simple habit tracker, seeing streaks build reinforces identity. You begin to think, "I am someone who shows up." And once that belief strengthens, skipping becomes harder because it contradicts who you believe you are. Strategic discomfort can be practiced intentionally. Each week, identify one action that makes you slightly uncomfortable but aligns with your goals. It might be reaching out to someone you admire, asking for feedback, starting a project publicly, or tackling a skill you've been postponing. The key word is slightly. Growth doesn't require reckless leaps. It requires progressive challenges. Over time, your tolerance for discomfort expands. What once felt intimidating becomes routine. That expansion is growth in action. Focused attention demands boundaries. Start by identifying your biggest distractions. Is it social media, constant messaging, multitasking? You don't need to eliminate everything, but you must control access. Schedule specific times for distractions instead of allowing them to interrupt your focus randomly. When working on an important task, silence notifications and create a clear environment. Train your brain to associate certain spaces or times with deep concentration. Focus improves with practice. The more you protect it, the stronger it becomes. Feel tempted to quit, procrastinate, or feel tempted to quit, procrastinate, or react impulsively? Pause and ask, how will this decision affect me a year from now, 5 years from now? That simple pause shifts perspective. It slows impulsive reactions and strengthens intentional action. Long-term thinkers delay gratification strategically. They understand that saying no to temporary pleasure often means saying yes to future freedom. Another important layer of mastering these rules is alignment between identity and action. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems and beliefs. If you see yourself as inconsistent, distracted, or unlucky, your behavior will reflect that identity. But if you begin reinforcing the belief that you are disciplined, responsible, and capable, your actions start matching it. Identity shifts happen through repeated proof. Every time you keep a promise, complete a task, or choose growth over comfort, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. It's also essential to embrace patience. Mastery of these rules doesn't happen in a week. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you fall short. The difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate is recovery speed. Successful people don't waste energy on self-criticism. They adjust quickly and return to alignment. They understand that one off day doesn't erase months of consistency. They zoom out and stay committed. Finally, remember that these 6 rules reinforce each other. Ownership strengthens clarity because you accept responsibility for defining your path. Clarity fuels discipline because you know what you're working toward. Discipline increases your tolerance for discomfort. Discomfort sharpens focus. Focus supports long-term thinking, and long-term thinking strengthens ownership. When practiced together, they create momentum that feels unstoppable. Mastering these rules isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming intentional. When your actions consistently align with ownership, clarity, discipline, discomfort, focus, and long-term vision, success stops feeling mysterious, it becomes predictable, and predictable success is powerful because it's repeatable.